every day.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, welcome aboard Jet Airways Flight number 1196 service.
Well, good morning, everyone. I am coming to you from a place that is not South Florida. Today, and for the next few days, we are back in New England. I was actually back home in New England 2 months ago, where I was able to fit in some incredibly productive herping. Honestly, some of my best herping in the region, and probably some of the most memorable herping of 2023. So I'm back in New England 2 months later. It is now the end of August, and this really isn't going to be much of a herping trip. But with that being said, I am going to try and do some herping when I'm here. It's mostly going to be pretty spontaneous. Like today, I wasn't even planning on going out, but I was able to fit in a couple hours, so I figured I'd at least try. So we'll see. I don't really have any targets. Again, this isn't really more of a herping trip like the last one was, but I am going to try and do some herping. And if I do find some herps, I'll show them to you. And yeah, today we're out in this beautiful forested habitat. We're going to be flipping logs and rocks looking for salamanders, because right now it is completely cloudy and overcast, so not really the best conditions for snakes to be active, especially because it rained recently. But who knows? We're going to get going here, flip some stuff, and maybe we'll find some salamanders or some other herps. Well, we have our first herp in our second trip here to New England. And where is it? Right there is a frog. Based on the size, I think this is likely an American bullfrog. It could potentially be a green frog. I'd have to get closer to identify it as well. But yeah, it took us a few minutes, but we finally got something, even if it's a very common amphibian. Well, we have a bunch of little frogs along the edge of the shoreline of this pond. Again, I'm pretty sure these are either all green or bullfrogs. I can't get close enough to really tell because there's a pretty distinctive characteristic that separates the two, but we got a little one right over here, so let's see if we can get close to it. And no, he's already taken off. Well, we got a big bullfrog, or not a big bullfrog, but a bullfrog that's right here, just on the edge of this water, and there he goes. Alright, so we have what appears to be, this looks like another bullfrog, that's the edge of this pond right here. So seeing a lot of, as we would expect in New England, a lot of bullfrogs and a lot of green frogs, the two most common species, or two of the most common species of frogs and toads in the region. So that is a white-tailed deer, the same species that I see in South Florida around the Everglades. It exists all the way up here in New England, so it looks like a doe. It's actually the second deer. I found one earlier today, and you can see the outline of her head right there, just watching us. And yeah, there she goes. You can see the white flash of the white tail. I think that's pretty cool. So here's another look at the garter snake here. This is the eastern garter snake, which is a subspecies of the common garter. Garter snakes are the most common that we have in New England. They pretty much are the one snake that can show up in residential backyards. You can find them in cities. They are incredible habitat generalists. You can find them in a variety of different landscapes in New England. And they can tolerate some pretty cold temperatures. You'll often see garter snakes in the early spring out just slithering over ice and stuff like that. So yeah, this is a little smaller garter snake, maybe a little more than a foot long, and they get pretty variable in pattern, but like I said, in other places, garter snakes are just one of several common species, and I find they can be a little underappreciated, but up here, this is the one snake that truly, really is common. There's really no other snake that's as super abundant as garters are. So yeah, that's a really cool find. I'm happy we got at least one snake so far in New England, and hopefully we can get some more. So we're not even near the ocean right now, and there is a gull in our front field. Pretty interesting, I'll say that for sure. Okay everyone, so I'm out just walking along in my driveway here, and that is a little American toad. So these are true bufo toads like the southern toads that are in the Everglades, but they do not have L-shaped crests behind their eyes like the southern toads do, and they only have about 1 to 2 warts in those dark spots. Turn the light on there so you can see they're only 1 to 2 warts. So yeah, these are pretty common. There's 2 toad species in New England, 2 true toads, the Fowlers and the American toad, and this is an American toad. Let's see what else you can find. Alright, so here is another American toad. There we go. So you can get a good look at this guy right here. Actually, yeah, right there. So, yep. Fowler's toads will have more than 2 warts on their large dark spots. This guy only has 1. See what else you can find, but a couple toads on the night so far. Well, this is a young American toad, but it has the craziest color that I've seen. It's like a gray color on it, and that's just really wild. It's right next to one that we found earlier, which is right here, and you can just see the color difference between this one and this one. So that's just pretty wild. So we're out having a nice fire, and right near our fire pit is another American toad. That one's eye is a little weird on the left side, you can see there, but get an up close shot. I think it's like the 4th American toad. I don't know how, at least I think we're around 4, but you can see again only 1 wart on all those large dark spots. So where I live there are no Fowler's toads, but we got plenty of American toads. Well, we're starting off the morning with a modern day dinosaur, this rooster that is just walking on this dirt trail here. Doesn't really seem to be too fazed by my presence at all. So don't want to get super close to him, but yeah, there we go. We're going to do some flipping here today, and let's see if we can find some other herps. But yeah, an interesting find to start off the day. So we have this snail, I don't know what the species of it is, that's just climbing on this plant here. So I think that's really wild. Pretty interesting find. There's another American toad hopping along in the woods.